The quiet emotion that is slowly ruining your life is fear. A lot of us, including myself, have avoided failure throughout our lives without really realizing that fear is just stagnation and failure is evolution. Let's get into it. I always had a deep-rooted fear of being seen trying, of being seen failing, of being seen and being judged, of being seen and being embarrassed. And a lot of us, we all have that same fear. We all want to be perfect. We all want to be this perfect person presented to this world. And that's just simply not reality. A lot of us have such a fear of putting ourselves out there and just going for the things that we want to have without feeling like we're ready for it, without feeling like we have all the equipment, without feeling like we're healed enough for it, without feeling like we're attractive enough for it, without feeling like we're smart enough for it. I started to notice that the more I push myself out of my comfort zone and trying different things and putting in the reps every single day of doing the things that make me feel uncomfortable and the things that I feared and the things that I thought that I wouldn't be good at, the more I became rooted in myself. The more I learned about myself, the more I started to evolve and change and become this new version of myself without even really realizing it. It became so apparent that the fear of doing was more damaging than doing something and it not working out. Hiya guys, welcome back to my cozy little corner of the internet. Today I really want to talk about how fear is so much more damaging than failure ever could be in your life. When you have this mentality that you are so afraid of even trying something because you're so afraid of the failure, you need to realize that fear rewards comfort, but it steals growth. You will never grow while being so afraid of just experiencing, of trying, of pushing the boundaries, of getting outside the box, of seeing really the potential that you have within yourself and making that into reality and going after the things that you really want out of life. I am a perfectionist. I'm really hard on myself about many different things, and I've always had the fear of using my voice, of putting myself out there, of just being me and being okay with if people are going to accept me or not, if people are going to love me or not, if I am worthy of the things that I was wanting of, if I'm deserving of this big life and these aspirations and this vision of my life that I want, if I was capable of being that. And so for a long time, many years, I would just put myself in the back burner and kind of just go through life and kind of just try to do what everyone else is doing and try to just, put myself down and not really just explore how I wanted to express myself, the things that I want to say, how I want to live my life. I would put everybody else, their potential, their wants, their needs above my own because I was too afraid to address my own. Fear is the killer of potential. When you are so wrapped up in your fear around something, when you're so wrapped up in the what if it doesn't work out, what if it doesn't come to pass, what if I'm not worthy, what if I'm not there yet, what if I'm not lovable enough, what if, all that fear is just killing the potential that you could ever have. If you're not even trying to put yourself out there, if you're not even trying to go after it, you'll never know what could have been. You'll never know what could have happened, and you'll live with these regrets for the rest of your life. You know within yourself how much potential you see that you have. It may seem very grandiose in your mind. It may seem something that's very far-fetched in your mind, but it's still a vision. It's still something that's there. It's still a seed that's planted in your mind of what you truly could accomplish if you really pushed yourself, if you really believed in yourself, because that's half the battle. Half the battle is really just believing that you can even do it, believing that you even have it within you to get what you want. And when you let fear control your life, you're allowing fear to steal away all the potential blessings and abundance that you could have. You have to change your mindset of being so afraid of failure and realizing that failure is evolution. Failure is growth. Failure is you stepping out of the old version of yourself and stepping into this new actualized version of yourself. We're so used to seeing people that already have their dream bodies. We're so used to people that already have their dream careers. We're so used to seeing people that already are on these dream vacations or are already doing these dream things in their life. And we're not seeing the buildup. We're not seeing the progress. We're not seeing the journey. And that's really skewing our minds to realize what it is to actually have success. Because I can guarantee you, everybody that you're looking at that has these things that you want so badly, they failed over and over and over and over and over again. There's so many more failures than there are successes, but you're just not going to see it. But that's what we're going to be experiencing, and that's what we have to embrace. You can't be afraid of failure. The thing that we really should be fearing is not trying at all, because that has so much more damage than doing something and it falling apart. Doing something and it didn't work out. Doing something and maybe you had to try again a different way. Doing something, but now you've learned. Now you're better equipped. Now you're stacking days. Now you're doing the reps. Now you know a little bit more. Failure is evolution. Don't be so afraid of failure. Don't be so afraid of making mistakes, because that is the process. That is the come up. That is you becoming. Most people at the end of their lives, they're not regretting all the things that they tried. They're not regretting all the things that they experienced, all the things that they tried out and maybe they weren't great at it. Everyone that has regrets at the end of their life regrets it because they never even took a step. They never even tried. They never even started. They never even tried to see what could have been. If you allow fear to silently control your life, you will become one of those people that lives in regret, that you're in the later years of your life and you're thinking back and you're thinking, I had all this youth, I had all this potential, I had all these skills, I had all these things to say, I had all these things I wanted to do, wanted to try, and I didn't do it because I was just so scared. I was so scared of the what if. I was so scared of what are people gonna think? What if I don't make it? What if it all falls apart? What if? We can go all day long with those things. But is it worth it? Is this fear of failure really worth you losing out on what could be in your life? The people that can be in your life, the abundance that can be in your life, the experiences, the traveling that you could have in your life, simply because you're scared of going after it. Is that really worth it? Take a moment to really think about all the things that are holding you back right now. What are those big thoughts in your head that keep creeping up, that keep making you stay in the stage that you are right now, that keep holding you back from taking that first step, that first leap of faith? Then I want you to envision this version of yourself that already has everything that you're trying to obtain. Do you think that they're also holding back on those things that you're afraid of, or are they already doing those things? You have to then step into that version of yourself. Fake it till you make it, but fake it till you make it with action. You can't just have these thoughts in your head. You can't just be having these vision boards. You can't just be looking at inspiration. You have to take that step if you want that to actually become your reality. As I close out this video, I really want you guys to just take away that don't let fear control you, because it will if you allow it to. You are the author of your own story. If you want this dream ending to your story, this dream ending to your book, you have to do the chapters. You have to go through the pages. You can't just skip to the end when it gets good. You have to go through the ups, the downs, the trials, the tribulations, the failure. Okay, you have to go through the character development if you want to get through the end. If you want to get to the meat of the book, that nice ending when everything happens how it's supposed to, you have to go through the pages. You have to do the reps. You have to push yourself. You have to put yourself out there. You have to get out of your comfort zone, because that is where potential dies. That is where dreams die. The people that live with regrets in their lives are because they stayed in a place where they felt safe. They stayed in a place that felt comfortable. They didn't try to push themselves. They didn't try to challenge themselves. And when you stay in a state like that, you will end up living a life that you are miserable in. You will end up living a life that isn't really meant for you. You could have been meant for something so much grander, so much bigger than yourself. And you didn't even know it because you wanted to stay in the box that you were in. You wanted to stay in your hometown. You wanted to stay around the people you've known your whole life. You wanted to stay in something that was familiar. But sometimes familiar is poisonous. It will weave its way in and poison your life if you allow it to. I love you guys so much. Thank you so much for joining me for another video. I hope to see you again soon. Enjoy your night, day, whatever it is for you, and I will see you guys later. Bye, my friends.